Imagine an 88-year-old man who once struggled to rise from a chair. Each movement felt heavy, each step uncertain. 10 weeks later, that same man is walking briskly through the park every morning, breathing deeper, moving steadier, carrying himself with a quiet confidence that many thought he had lost forever. What changed was not hours in a gym or a new medication. What changed was the type of protein he chose to eat. For decades, we have been told that eggs are the gold standard of protein, the benchmark against which all others are measured. But science is now revealing something remarkable. Certain proteins can work better than eggs for people over 70. They do not just provide amino acids. They carry unique compounds that fight inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and switch muscle building back on, even in a body that has lived through 7 or 8 decades. This discovery matters because muscle is not just about looking strong. Muscle is the very fabric of independence. It determines whether you can climb stairs, carry groceries, or rise from bed without help. Muscle also acts as the body's metabolic engine. It burns fat, regulates insulin, and protects brain health. Losing muscle means losing far more than strength. It means losing freedom and vitality. Here lies the paradox of aging. As we grow older, our need for protein increases, yet our body becomes less efficient at using it. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. You may eat the same foods as before, yet your muscles respond less, grow less, repair less. It is like pouring fuel into a worn-out engine that no longer fires. The good news is that certain proteins break through this barrier. They trigger muscle synthesis more effectively, carrying nutrients that eggs cannot match. Over the next sections, you will discover 5 of these proteins. Foods that are accessible, practical, and proven to restore resilience in later years. Each one is a key that can unlock strength, mobility, and confidence long after the age when most people assume decline is inevitable. Muscle loss does not suddenly arrive at 70. It begins quietly in the 30s. Every decade after that, the body sheds a small but steady portion of its strength. By 60, the pace accelerates. By 80 or 90, nearly half of original muscle mass may be gone. This is not just about size or appearance. It is about the ability to live without constant help. It is about whether you can move through life with freedom or depend on others for the simplest tasks. The process has a name: sarcopenia. It is the silent erosion of muscle that changes posture, balance, and stability. It increases the risk of falls and fractures. It makes once effortless activities like walking across a room or climbing a flight of stairs feel like climbing a mountain. The statistics are sobering, but they are not destiny. Muscles respond to stimulus at every age if given the right conditions.
Here is where the paradox appears. As you age, your need for protein increases, yet your body becomes less efficient at using it. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance.
Imagine pouring more and more fuel into an engine that has grown resistant to spark. The tank fills, but the power does not ignite. That is how the aging muscle reacts to ordinary protein. You can eat the same diet you followed at 40, but your muscles no longer respond in the same way at 70. This is why so many older adults who try to eat well still experience weakness, cramps, and fatigue. They are feeding their bodies but not unlocking the response they need. The real key is not simply more protein, but the right protein. Certain sources contain compounds that reduce inflammation, repair cell membranes, and improve insulin sensitivity. These changes make the body more responsive again, allowing protein to be turned into actual strength. Understanding this shift reframes the way we look at nutrition in later years. It is not about chasing youth, but about fueling longevity. It is about giving your body what it can use, not just what tradition has told you to eat. The paradox of aging is real, but it can be overcome with knowledge and the right choices. When people think of protein after 70, the first images are usually meat, fish, or eggs. Plant proteins are often dismissed as weak, incomplete, or insufficient for building muscle. Lentils prove that belief wrong. These small seeds have been a staple in some of the longest-lived communities on Earth, and modern science now shows why they deserve a place at the center of a diet designed for strength. A single cooked cup of lentils delivers about 18 grams of protein for less than the price of a cup of coffee. But the power of lentils is not just the protein itself. it is what travels with it. Each serving carries 16 grams of fiber, both soluble and insoluble. This fiber feeds the gut microbiome, encouraging the growth of bacteria that produce butyrate, a compound that reduces inflammation, improves insulin sensitivity, and boosts muscle protein synthesis by as much as 30%. This is the gut-muscle axis, the growing body of research proving that strong muscles begin with a healthy gut. Lentils also carry resistant starch, which behaves like fiber, slowing digestion, stabilizing blood sugar, and increasing satiety. This makes it easier to control weight while building muscle. Resistant starch even increases the thermic effect of protein, meaning your body burns more calories to process it, creating a metabolic advantage. Micronutrients in lentils add another layer of support. 1 cup provides nearly all of your daily folate needs. Folate is essential for DNA repair and protein synthesis. Deficiency is common in older adults and is directly linked to reduced muscle strength. Correcting it can improve muscle mass within weeks. Lentils also supply iron, about 1/3 of daily requirements, which becomes even more effective when paired with vitamin C, from foods like tomatoes or bell peppers. Iron fuels myoglobin, the protein that stores oxygen in muscle cells, helping you move longer without fatigue. Potassium content in lentils surpasses that of bananas, supporting muscle contraction, preventing cramps, and reducing calcium loss from bone. Polyphenols, especially in red and black lentils, act as antioxidants that reduce inflammation markers associated with muscle breakdown. And then there is lysine, an amino acid often lacking in plant-based diets. Lysine supports collagen production and tissue repair, filling a critical gap in muscle health. Lentils are also versatile and convenient. Red lentils cook in 10 minutes, smooth and easy to digest, perfect for those with chewing difficulties. Green lentils hold their shape in salads, while black beluga lentils are highest in antioxidants. Sprouting lentils boost protein content by 20% and makes them easier to digest. For older adults, convenience matters, and lentils deliver both nutrition and practicality. The lesson is clear. Lentils are not an inferior substitute for animal protein. They are a complete ally in the fight against muscle loss, offering protein plus a cascade of compounds that make muscles more responsive, more resilient, and better fueled. For anyone over 70 seeking strength without complexity, lentils are a foundation worth building on. If lentils prove that plants can be powerful, hemp seeds show that nature has designed a protein almost perfectly aligned with the human body. Just 3 tablespoons provide 10 grams of complete protein, carrying all the essential amino acids your muscles require. What makes hemp seeds unique is edestin, a protein nearly identical to the proteins found in human plasma. This means your body recognizes it immediately and absorbs it with ease, like hearing a familiar voice calling your name. Hemp seeds go beyond protein. Their fatty acid balance is extraordinary. The ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is 3:1, which is considered optimal for reducing inflammation. Eggs, by contrast, often have a ratio closer to 20:1, which can promote chronic inflammation. For someone over 70, where low-grade inflammation constantly erodes muscle tissue, hemp seeds provide a gentle yet powerful corrective. Another remarkable element is gamma-linolenic acid, or GLA. This rare fat is converted into DGLA in the body, which directly reduces inflammation in muscle tissue. Studies show that GLA supplementation can cut muscle soreness by 40% and shorten recovery time after activity. For older adults who may struggle to recover after exercise or even daily exertion, this is a significant advantage. Hemp seeds are also rich in arginine, an amino acid that stimulates nitric oxide production, dilating blood vessels and improving circulation. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients delivered to muscles, exactly what is needed for recovery and repair. Arginine also encourages growth hormone release, which naturally declines with age, but is critical for muscle regeneration. Research shows arginine can increase growth hormone by as much as 30% when timed well with sleep or exercise. Minerals add another layer. 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds provide about half of the daily need for magnesium, a mineral that 80% of older adults are lacking. Magnesium prevents cramps, supports relaxation, and is required for vitamin D to function effectively in muscle health. Alongside magnesium, hemp seeds offer zinc, iron, and phosphorus, which support protein synthesis, oxygen transport, and energy production at the cellular level. Convenience is perhaps the final gift. Hemp seeds require no cooking, no refrigeration, and blend seamlessly into daily meals. Sprinkle them over yogurt, salads, or oatmeal. Blend them into smoothies or simply eat them by the spoonful. Their mild, nutty taste makes them easy to enjoy consistently, which is essential for long-term benefits. Hemp seeds remind us that strength does not always come from tradition. It often comes from looking deeper, listening to science, and embracing options that fit both body and lifestyle. They are not exotic, not complicated, and not reserved for athletes. They are accessible, affordable, and powerful allies for anyone over 70 seeking resilience. If this resonates with you and you want more simple, science-backed ways to rebuild strength after 60 and 70, subscribe to my channel Daily 1% Impact. Every week, we uncover strategies that turn small daily choices into lasting health and independence. One seed, one sip, 1% at a time. When most people think of protein for strength, they think of lean meat or eggs. Few realize that wild salmon holds advantages that no egg can match. Beyond its rich protein content, wild salmon delivers a unique set of fats and micronutrients that act like lubricant for the aging muscular system, reducing friction, preventing breakdown, and restoring resilience from within. Each serving of wild salmon provides about 22 grams of high-quality protein. But the deeper magic lies in its omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These molecules integrate directly into muscle cell membranes, keeping them flexible and responsive. As we age, inflammation acts like rust on these membranes, stiffening them and blocking the signals needed for growth. Omega-3 second repair that damage. They reduce inflammatory molecules like TNF-alpha and IL-6, and they activate mTOR, the central switch for muscle protein synthesis. The results are profound. Researchers at the University of Washington found that older adults who consume the omega-3 equivalent of eating salmon 3 times a week increased their muscle mass by 6% without changing exercise routines. Even more remarkable, their muscles became more sensitive to all protein, meaning every source of protein they ate worked more effectively. This is the opposite of anabolic resistance. Instead of the body ignoring protein, it began responding again. Wild salmon also delivers vitamin D, a nutrient often missing in older diets. Each serving provides around 1,000 IU. Vitamin D not only strengthens bones, but also directly activates protein synthesis within muscle cells. Deficiency in vitamin D is widespread after 70, and correcting it can boost strength by up to 20%. The pink color of wild salmon comes from astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant 6,000 times stronger than vitamin C. Astaxanthin protects mitochondria, the energy power plants of the muscle cells. By defending these tiny engines, salmon helps sustain endurance and reduces fatigue. Paired with selenium, another mineral abundant in salmon, the body produces glutathione peroxidase, a key enzyme that shields muscle tissue from oxidative stress. There is even creatine, about 1 gram per serving, naturally present in salmon. Creatine supports short bursts of muscle power and contraction ability, improving performance by 5 to 15% when combined with regular movement. For older adults, this can mean steadier steps, stronger grips, and more confidence in daily activities. The key is choosing wild-caught Alaskan salmon over farmed. Wild salmon contains higher levels of omega-3 second, natural vitamin D, and astaxanthin rather than artificial colorings. Cooking matters too. Steaming or baking preserves the oils better than frying. Adding lemon juice not only protects omega-3 second from oxidation, but also enhances absorption of iron and other nutrients. For budget-friendly options, canned wild salmon is an excellent choice, and the soft bones add extra calcium. Wild salmon is not just food. It is a message to your muscles that repair is possible. With every serving, you are sending fuel and lubrication to the very system that carries you through life. At 70 or 80, that is not luxury, it is necessity. If there is one protein that proves age does not limit growth, it is whey protein. Research from McMaster University compared whey to eggs in adults over 75. The results were so striking, the scientists repeated the experiment twice. The whey group gained nearly twice as much muscle mass as the egg group, not because they ate more, but because whey works in a completely different way. When you are young, your muscles remain sensitive to protein for hours after a meal. Past 70, this anabolic window shrinks dramatically. To trigger growth, the body needs a rapid spike in amino acids. Whey delivers that spike within 60 minutes. Eggs take 3 to 4 hours, and by then the muscles have missed the opportunity. For someone facing anabolic resistance, timing is everything. Whey has another advantage. It is rich in leucine, the amino acid that flips the muscle growth switch. Eggs provide about 1.3 grams of leucine per serving. Whey delivers up to 2.5 grams. After 70, research shows you need around 3 grams of leucine at once to activate muscle synthesis. That means you would have to eat 5 eggs to match what just 1.5 scoops of whey can achieve.
Whey also contains the trio of branched-chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, in a highly absorbable form. Leucine triggers synthesis.
Isoleucine increases glucose uptake to fuel muscle activity. Valine reduces breakdown during exercise or even simple daily exertion. Together, they create not only growth, but also protection. Beyond amino acids, whey contains immunoglobulins and glycomacropeptides. These compounds improve gut health and reduce intestinal inflammation. That matters because chronic gut inflammation, common in older adults, reduces protein absorption. Whey bypasses that problem, helping more amino acids reach your muscles. Glycomacropeptides also stimulate hormones that improve insulin sensitivity, guiding nutrients into muscle instead of fat. Practical use is simple. One of my patients, a 92-year-old woman, added whey to her breakfast daily. She blended it with frozen berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. The berries added antioxidants to protect amino acids during digestion. Cinnamon improved insulin sensitivity by as much as 20%, ensuring more protein was directed to muscle. Within weeks, she felt stronger, more energetic, and more stable on her feet. The key is choosing the right type. If you are sensitive to lactose, whey protein isolate is best. If not, whey concentrate provides more immune-supporting compounds. Mix whey with cold liquid to preserve protein integrity and drink within 30 minutes of preparation for maximum effect. Whey is more than convenience. It is a speed switch that restores responsiveness in muscles dulled by age. It provides the quick surge of nutrients that aging bodies need to overcome anabolic resistance. At 70, 80, or 90, that is the difference between decline and renewal. If whey protein is the lightning bolt that delivers nutrients in an instant, cottage cheese is the steady oil lamp that burns through the night. While you sleep, your body naturally shifts into a catabolic state. This means it begins breaking down muscle tissue for energy. For older adults, this process happens faster and more aggressively, stealing strength in the very hours meant for recovery. Without intervention, each morning begins with a loss that may never be fully regained. Cottage cheese changes that. It is rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that forms a soft gel in the stomach. This gel releases amino acids gradually for 6 to 8 hours. Instead of starving muscles during sleep, casein feeds them continuously. Dutch researchers showed that when older adults ate cottage cheese before bed, their bodies kept synthesizing new muscle protein throughout the night. This simple food becomes a quiet guardian against the erosion of strength. Casein offers more than muscle building. It contains bioactive peptides that help lower blood pressure and improve sleep quality. Better sleep deepens recovery and increases growth hormone release, one of the most powerful signals for muscle repair. With cottage cheese, protein, and sleep support each other in a cycle of resilience. Micronutrients add further benefits. A single cup of cottage cheese provides selenium, calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin B12, all essential for muscle function. Selenium deficiency is common after 70 and directly linked to weakness and fatigue. Calcium and phosphorus fuel both bone strength and energy production in muscle fibers. Vitamin B12 ensures that protein is used efficiently. Without it, amino acids may be wasted instead of converted into strength. The sodium in cottage cheese also plays a role. For those with low blood pressure or electrolyte imbalance, it helps maintain hydration and nutrient transport. If sodium is a concern, a quick rinse under water can reduce its content by almost half without losing protein. This adaptability makes cottage cheese suitable for many dietary needs. Cottage cheese is also versatile. It can be eaten plain, blended with fruit for a bedtime dessert, or combined with flax seeds and walnuts to add omega-3 second and arginine. Some even freeze it briefly with a touch of honey to create a soft ice cream that fuels muscle through the night. The common result is the same. People wake feeling stronger, less stiff, and more energetic. The message is clear. At 70 or beyond, protecting muscle overnight is as important as feeding it during the day. Cottage cheese offers a practical, affordable, and scientifically proven way to do both. It is not glamorous, but it is powerful. It is the difference between waking weaker and waking ready to move forward with strength. The story of muscle in later life is often told as a story of loss. Charts and statistics show decline, weakness, and dependence. But there is another story, one of choice and possibility. Muscles at 70, 80, or even 90 are not doomed to fade away. They respond to what you give them, to the food you eat, the movement you make, and the care you provide. The 5 proteins we explored are more than nutrients. They are keys that unlock strength where ordinary foods fall short. Lentils deliver protein along with fibers and minerals that heal the gut and improve insulin sensitivity. Hemp seeds provide proteins and fats that the body instantly recognizes, lowering inflammation and restoring circulation. Wild salmon adds the oils and antioxidants that protect muscle cells from rust and decay. Whey protein delivers a surge of amino acids that aging muscles can use immediately. Cottage cheese feeds muscles steadily through the night, protecting them from breakdown while you rest. Each of these proteins proves that muscle loss is not an unchangeable destiny. They show that anabolic resistance can be softened, that inflammation can be calmed, and that protein synthesis can be reignited. What matters is not how old you are, but how you choose to nourish your body. Every meal is a chance to take back ground that aging has tried to steal. Every serving of protein is an act of defiance against weakness. When you see food not only as fuel, but as medicine, you realize that the journey towards strength is always open. The years ahead can be defined not by decline, but by resilience, built one plate at a time.